So John calls that the good, I call it affirmation. I think we're exactly on the same page. So the calf demon represents this concept of Shri because it's the corruption of that concept. That's the idea. That what the calf wants to do is corrupt that idea. And the Rajanika translate Shri into this other word, this other idea. That is, they say, well, what is Shri like? And they call it Saubhagya. So let's take this word apart. This is a beautiful word and it's an interesting idea. I'm going to give you these are the 5 powers. I'm going to give you 5 essential qualities of Tantra and 5 qualities of Rajanika. It's 5 mild elaborations. Just a little more distinction so you can think about it in a more sophisticated way. All of which are sort of taking us back to this story. Now remember what the story is about. A demon takes the form of a calf, and no one recognizes it, and Krishna sees the corruption, sees that this perfectly innocent, auspicious, affirming, valuable entity, calves are really valuable entities in India, because they're going to give you cowness, which is all the stuff you want. And so that the demonic takes that form is a corruption of the principle of desire, right? Because the universe wants, the desire of the universe is to be auspicious. The experience of the auspicious, how does the auspicious make you feel? Like, how do you register it? How do you experience the more abstract idea that the world is Shri? And the Rajanika say you experience it as Saubhagya. So let's take this word apart. This Bhag part, this Bhagya part, takes you all the way back to Bhagavata, or Bhagavan, right? Or Bhagavad Gita. It's all the same root. And that root means to eat, to nourish. So Bhaga, as in Bhagavad Gita, right? Or Bhag, would mean to prosper, or to have good fortune, or good luck. It means to encompass both a kind of Leela sense of, gee, that was, bless you, that was adorable. That was fortuitous, like that was a really good thing. And also, that came about, like that was really yummy, really delicious, really nurturing, really, so the experience is good fortune and good nourishment. To be Subhaga is to be in a very good state of that. So it means sweetly nourished, or generously nourished, or nourished all the way to the boundaries of what's really healthy and good about that. One Subhaga suggests low toxicity in everything that in the goodness that you get, because everything that is nourishing always includes some toxicity. Nothing comes without a certain amount of cost, a certain amount of resilience. Because that asura, that anti-force in the universe, is protected. And it's also called Rakshasa. That's another word for the demons. Can we write that word down? It's also called Rakshasa because Rakshasa. It's another word for demon, which literally takes you Rakshasa, Raksha, Laksha, Lacquer, as in English, or bagels and lox. You can do that whole routine. It literally gets you all the way to the idea of the migrating salmon. You know, the Yiddish word lox, which refers to the salmon that go upstream. It's a delicacy. Food delicacy, that takes you all the way back to the Sanskrit word Rakshasa. Because the word Rakshasa turns in 2 directions. It literally means the protected ones. And so Rakshasa goes to Lakshasa, or in the Hindi, the word lakh, L-A-K-H, which means 100,000. It's a word for a big number. And then lakh will take you to the English lacquer, or shellac, a protectorant, like a paint-like stuff, right? And so Rakshasa takes you either to a very large number, which is still used in India. Like in India, they still count in lakhs of rupees. It means in quantities of 100,000. Like that's an ordinary way to count in India. So it means a very large number, or it means like a protecting sheen, like a lacquer. Well, the idea is that as the salmon went upstream, they created, in their very large numbers, a self-protecting sheen, a self-protecting web. So that is, they look like a lacquer, they look like a protector. So the word means both a large number and the thing that protects, which is really pretty much the same thing. So what we know about the Rakshasas is that they are in abundance. We know there are a lot of them. And we know that they are protected. And the question is, well, why? And the tantric answer is because without them, the world isn't Shri enough. That is, the world isn't, that is for us to advance, for us to succeed, for us to prosper, we need to be challenged. We need to be pushed back. So without that end, we also know that we can't destroy the Rakshasas. And one of the things you're going to find in all of these Christian myths is that none of the Rakshasas are absolutely destroyed. None of them are completely decimated. They're transformed, they're changed into other things. But in a tantric universe, you can't get rid of anything that's already here. So the most you can do is make good fences and good neighbors. The most you can do is transmute things, put them in a place or in a way that changes their character or their relationship with you. So you can do three things with the demons in these stories. You can get them out of your way, you can sequester them, you can transmute them, you can try to change them, or you can kind of deal with them. But you can't eliminate them. You can't get rid of them. Because they're not evil, they are just part of creation. That they are against your interests is just patently clear. There are things that don't have your interests at heart. That they are protected by the universe works in two ways. You can't get rid of them, so you have to do something with them. You have to get them somewhere, you have to cut a deal of one kind or another, even if that means fending them off or changing them into something else. But there's no destroying this quality because, and this is the important point, we need it too. We need their poke in order to grow. We need their challenge in order to advance. That the demon in this case begins at the most primal level. It begins by challenging the very notion of our desire. Because what we want is Shri out of life. You want abundance, you want value, you want affirmation, you want health. And so the word salvagya means possessed of that which is most nourishing. So it means prosperity, good fortune. It's the experience of the auspicious. How does it register in you? And then Rajanika says, the way you get to the heart of the teaching is to get to the heart of the experience. How does it make you feel? What does it do for you?